What's this one?
There's
my notes.
and there's no such thing as perfect either. So guys, so just.
Nah, I don't even know. I hope we're on live right now.
It's live right now. They can hear you.
Yeah, so
we ain't got no followers.
Once again, man.
Wait, we gotta wait for Hakeem. He's not even live yet.
Hakeem's phone is.
We're all waiting on Hakeem's phone right now.
What's
going on?
This is
I don't know what kind of you.
Man, I don't even know if mine is still on only me. That's what I don't understand.
Well, you gotta do some. Excuse us for a minute. We have to adjust some of these telephones. So go ahead and.
Thank you, cameraman. We got a lot of things going on right now.
I know.
You know, I got a cameraman. Keep it floating. Right now, I appreciate everybody coming on right now. Dave Wilson's live is going pretty fast. You guys could share this, please. Share. I'm asking because it's a little bit awkward right now. Right now, of course, y'all know it is your boy Bully the Kid. We're doing a special rendition of the Moody Mentor Bully Booth right now live.
Except this time you got people that actually talk with you.
Yes, I do. My former co-host was a little bit lighter. I'm sitting here right now with Dave Wilson, cameraman. Let's spin it a little bit. Let's go. Trying to keep the cameraman going. A little bit more, cameraman. Are you following? Thank you, cameraman. Thank you. All right, my cameraman right now is Jace. He's underpaid and not happy. So y'all know why y'all are here. Of course, we're going to announce the location of Nationals. Some of you guys that watched my Facebook earlier saw that I was by a beach hotel view. Rigo Ramirez busted me and said I was not in France. He has stalker skill levels at the all-time high. He will never, ever meet one of my girlfriends, ever, because it was creepy the way he found out.
One of your girlfriends.
We are live.
Yeah.
They know now.
But they know who they are as they're tuned in. So what we're going to do today, man, we're going to announce Nationals. We're going to announce some other things. Of course, I'm here with the ABKC president, Dave Wilson. I'm here with Animalville's own Hakeem Brahma. I always say your name wrong. Is it Brahma? Brahma.
That's all right. There's one he called you Hamash.
I said Hamish, which is a biblical name. And of course, we're going to be joined in a little bit by my man Nate Dewsbury. He's making his way to
He's coming
his
around
chair right now.
He's
Here he comes right now.
Yeah.
This is a high-tech operation for everybody that was wondering how we do this, man. But if you guys didn't know, this is the 13th year of Nationals. 13th year of Nationals. 13th year. Let's get me right in the middle. Got me a little bit off right now. A little bit to the right.
This way, yeah, right.
Woo! Man. Anyway, it's the 13th year of Nationals, so we're excited. November 16th, of course, it goes down in an undisclosed location. We're going to disclose that location to you today. If you're following us and you are on ABKC official website, are we on there too?
On my page.
We're on Deanna John's page too. So if you don't like the view, you can go to any of these pages, Dave Wilson, Christopher James, Hakeem, or Nate, or Deanna, and be able to see it live as it's happening. Y'all check that out. So it's the 13th year.
Yep, it is. It's the 13th year.
It's the 13th year.
Been a long run so far, yeah.
You started in Michigan.
We started in Detroit, Michigan.
All right.
That was the first ever Nationals. And we've grown quite a bit since then. I think we've been completely around the United States more than once since then.
Yeah, we've been in Atlanta twice, California twice. Everywhere else, I believe we've only done one time. So this is the first time that we're doing. Last year, of course, it was in Louisville. We're going to announce, of course, where Nationals is. Before we do that, we have to let you guys know what you can do with this show and what you cannot do. Number one thing you can't do is buy a booth right now. You can't buy a booth today.
No, but you will be able to pre-register once we're done today. And the booths should be going up within 2 weeks. Since we signed a contract today, we have to work with the decorator, so it's going to take a couple weeks to get the layout done. Then you'll be able to buy booths. But you will be able to pre-register. This Nationals is going to be the first ever pre-registration only Nationals. So we want to have a total of the dogs competing in advance. So after this airs today, tomorrow you will be able to register for the show. So make sure this year you do pre-registration. Like I said, it's pre-registration only. So we want a count of all dogs prior to the event. So that'll be available tomorrow.
Oh my God. Pre-registration only. For y'all that don't understand what that means, it means that you can't show up day of show with your dog and then not be registered. We want to know what dogs are going to be showing, and that's the way it's going to work. So if you're not familiar with that process, get familiar. You have about 6 months to do that. But basically what that means is if your dog's at ABKC registered, you're going to, just like you get a booth, you're going to register your dog for the show. That means if it's in a pocket class. I know what you're going to ask me, because I'm smart like that. What if my dog champions out after I pre-register?
Oh, I already know that.
People don't know.
See the goals? Yeah, see how I gave him a perfect segue to give an informative answer. We already know that. No. What we're going to do definitely is if your dog becomes a champion, you would then let the office know that, hey, I pre-registered for Nationals My
The
dog
way,
is
the way you've registered through the pre-registration, you'll just be able to do an update. It's just that simple. So
Oh,
my
wow.
dog fan is up, that's the end of it.
All right. So that's going to be. Now, I know what you guys are going to ask next. What about my dog that's coming to the show, but he's not going to be showing?
For this particular venue, which I almost said the name,
Almost. Almost. Somebody's going to blow it.
somebody's gonna.
Everybody's jet lag. Everybody has
Yeah,
flown in from somewhere.
In fact, something is happening going on right behind us right now. See, it's dropping.
Oh my goodness.
Can somebody fix that, please?
Can we get a little bit more tape? Can we get a little more tape?
Yeah, something here, yes.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that might give itself away beforehand. So,
All right,
I'll
so-
leave it alone. I think we're
so
good.
like we said,
all right, we're good. We're good.
pre-register. All dogs got to be pre-registered. So if you're going to show, it's got to be pre-registered.
So for this particular venue, it's a very high-end venue, probably the nicest venue that I think we've ever had. You got a chance to see it today. You guys have seen it before. So it's their rule there is they don't allow only dogs coming in for competition. So they don't allow dogs, anybody just to walk in with dogs. So you have to be competing in the event to enter there. However, if you have a booth and your dogs are going to be in your booth, displayed in your booth, and it's part of your booth display, that constitutes competition for the venue. So either you're going to have to pre-register for the show, or when you get your booth, you're going to have to register at a time. The amount of it'll be an average is 4 dogs per booth or whatever it is, and you will have to give a list of the dogs that you're bringing with you. So we have documentation and record of that. So if the venue has these dogs are with this booth, so
all right. So we're going to get to that where it's going to be in a minute. Now you guys got that information. Pre-register. Get them in. Get them in. You can do that with Regina. Regina Goins is going to be handling it.
it'll be on the ABKC Nationals page. The same page.
Is that up yet?
Yes, it is up. It's always up. It's never down. It stays up. Year
ABKC Nationals page is up right now, so you
Yeah.
can do that. Ringside booths will be available.
Correct.
We're gonna
First
do
come,
that.
first serve. We don't have favoritism in that. It's first come, first serve for the ringside booths. But once again, once we deal with the decorator, then we get the booth layout. Then we'll be able to put those up for sale, hopefully within 2 weeks.
Yeah, if you want to pay me first, you can.
Yeah, not if you want a booth, though. I just let
If
you
you
know.
want, a ringside
Pre-register
booth,
recruits.
parking is included with that if you get it through me. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Con Wentz says, "What if he's broke?"
Then get it through you. You can go to Bully Show.
Come to me, man. I have payment plans for booth. I
It's
said
not-
payment plans.
As you know,
And Con, I'll sell you a booth for a pup back. First pick rock. First pick Rocco pup, I'll get you a ringside booth. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so we got that going on. We're gonna make the announcement.
Plus, just so you know that we've never priced nationals at a very high. We've always kept it at a very competitive rate. We've never had $500 booths or anything. Why
Why
that.
not?
Because it's the people's registry. We've always done this for the people, try to make it accessible for everybody. So we never wanted to be something where, as you know, it's not a profitable event. We spend a fortune just on trophies alone. that
And
we'll never
bringing
even
me
see.
in is a
So
fortune.
we're trying to make it, bully the kid. Yeah.
Bully the kids room.
4 white towels,
There's
bottle
no
of
fortune.
champagne.
There's
you know,
a lot of stuff going on.
Right there.
Hakeem, now Hakeem, you were involved with Chicago.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful venue.
Did you just give away the event, that location?
No, it's Chicago.
Chicago. We did
Okay,
that a couple
okay,
years
okay,
ago.
all right.
Like I said, people are approaching 65. A lot of things go on.
I know.
But
No,
Chicago,
I'm
we
just
did
making
that a
sure
couple
that
of
we
years
could
ago.
be sitting in Chicago right now.
We could be sitting in Chicago.
They
but
don't know that.
Here's a tip: we are not sitting in Chicago. Everyone flew in today, different ways, got here to see us. But Hakeem, you were involved in Chicago. It was a great venue. I loved it. Navy Pier. It was historic, and being able to bring a bully show to such a great event.
Yeah.
One of the things that happened, I'm sure you remember, is we had a big problem with cleanup.
Yes.
A big problem. So if you guys don't know what that means is, we ended up losing Navy Pier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Basically, Navy Pier was unhappy with how our guests treated their venue. People chose to not clean up after themselves, and that's something we need people to emphasize on.
In the history of ABKC, we have never had a problem with a venue as far as nationals. We have a great reputation with all of our nationals venues. Every year our nationals venues are able to cross-reference with the previous years to find out how we did, and we've always got a great referral from all of them. We've never ever had an issue, it was unfortunate at Navy Pier that there was a lot of people that did not clean up after their dogs. There were people that were walking in different parts of the convention center
Right.
and allowing their dogs to go to the bathroom. And thing is, if it's a carpeted area of a venue, a dog shouldn't be in there anyway. Anywhere inside of a venue, if you're not in the actual hall, you're not supposed to be walking around a convention center
Correct.
with your dog. So, and with us, we have a certain way the dogs come in and a certain way the dogs go out. And that's what we have to do at all these events. So we don't rent the entire convention center. So we don't have access to the entire convention center. And again, most of those places are not set up for dogs. So very unfortunate for us because we've had an excellent credit reference for all these years, since 13 years until that particular one, because people weren't cleaning up after the dogs and they were going in parts of the venue where dogs weren't supposed to be.
Right. That's the number one thing that we want you guys to know about Nationals this year is you have to clean up after your dogs. I know y'all are used to me yelling that on the microphone. This year we're letting you know beforehand. The venue, like all Nationals venues, whether you've been around like me from San Bernardino and Los Angeles to New Jersey to Louisville to Chicago, one of the things that we like to do is bring the event to a very, very, very nice place. There's no different this year. It's a very nice place. You are going to have to walk through breezeways and things like that.
Possibly not.
Possibly not. But we want you to be aware of where you are and where you're going at all times, because this is a very nice venue. If there is carpet underneath your feet, carry your dog in, please.
If there's carpet on your feet, turn around. You've gone the wrong way. You don't have to pick the dog
Oh,
up.
that's true.
You've gone the wrong way.
If there's carpet
under your feet,
you've gone
the wrong way. Yeah.
If your carpet's under your feet, return to the street.
There you go. That's the way. I was looking for that one.
So there should be no carpet. This is a nice venue, like we're saying the whole time. We can't wait to tell you where it's going to be. This person, man, look at all these people have votes. Real quick, does anybody have a vote where they think Nationals is? We have a $5 reward for anyone who gets it right.
Payable by ability to keep.
Yeah, I'll pay $5. If you can guess the right place, I'll pay you. $5. But only one person. One person.
You better clarify that.
One person. Oh, Florida, man. Florida. Houston, Florida.
We've put out
St. Louis.
A lot of false information. So there's a lot of people thinking it's somewhere that it's really not. So
yeah, I put out a lot of false information. I straight up lied. I dressed. What was the dude from Empire? Juicy Smollett.
Oh yeah.
That's what I did a lot of that information all day. Arizona. Ooh, that's a good one. Man, that person's close. OKC. Oh, I like Oklahoma City. Alabama. Alabama was my vote to never go to ever in my life. I'm just joking. I love Alabama. Shout out to Alabama people.
I like
Atlanta. Yo, I love Atlanta. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's not Atlanta. I wouldn't have
we've shown a little favoritism. We've been there 2 times. So LA and Atlanta have had 2 Nationals. So
the person says the United States. You know what, man? We thought about going outside of the United States. I did.
Yeah, but that's why we have Nationals, Euro Nationals, Mexico.
I thought about
Nationals.
going to Barbados, Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, I thought about going to Bora
We were going to
Bora.
have
In fact, I've said
we were going to have a 4-dog national.
not Turks and Caicos. You're not going to
It will be pretty, and I'll be there early.
It's part of the United States.
Yeah, that is true. See, now you're talking. St. Thomas.
I've been there my whole damn life in Chicago. Yeah, that's it. All right, so y'all are guessing, man. We appreciate y'all guessing. Like I said, you know what, Deanna? You should have let me give away a free registration one.
I mean, you can do it still.
Nah, I changed my mind. $5 sounds better. So, let's not get crazy. $5. All right, so we're going to announce where that is. We got a couple of other announcements we want to make before we tell them where it's at, though. We're not going to tell y'all who the judges are today.
Well, let me start real quick before that. We do our best every year to give you all the best show that we can give you. This is the one show hosted by us, ABKC, and it's for you all. We do everything that we possibly can. We get trophies, custom trophies by Matt Hicks.
Ooh.
And we'll talk about the new trophy in a minute. But top of the line trophies you cannot get anywhere else. They're only available for Nationals. And every year we try to step up. We try to hit another major city, and we try to hit a higher caliber venue if possible. We try to give you the best atmosphere that we can possibly do for you all. We decorate it to the T. We do everything we can. This is your show. This is just ABKC, our gift to you all for competing all year long, and we try to give you a premier event at the end of every year. So all we ask from you all is that you all look after the venue, that you all take care of your dogs, clean up after your dogs, and do not leave the venues or the hotels, both places, because when we leave a city, we want to leave a positive footprint on that city. We want people to say, hey, ABKC Nationals came here, they were great people, they were great dogs, and it brought a great event to our city. We would love to have you all back. So our goal, and the only thing that we ask from you all, is to leave a positive footprint, positive impact on wherever we are for the event. So clean up after your dogs, clean up in your hotels, everywhere you go. Just remember, we're here as guests This is a breed that not everybody knows, and it's a breed that this is our opportunity to shine in a major city and give our breed and all the breeds a platform to compete and just give a positive look. So that's all we ask of you all. We'll do everything for you. We'll continue to bring these great events to you. We'll continue to give trophies, everything that we can do at the highest caliber. But we just need you all to represent yourselves and your dogs the right way. Please, please clean up after your dogs. Do not leave a mess anywhere you go. There's nothing wrong with cleaning up after a dog. I don't know why some people might feel embarrassed about it, but that's what you're supposed to do. That's what a responsible dog owner is, and that's all we want. If you're not a responsible dog owner, this is not an event for you, and we don't want you at this type of event. Right. We want responsible dog owners, and we will do our best, as we always do, to give you a great event. Just do that and make sure we all are responsible dog owners and respect the venue, the hotels, and the locations at this event.
Right, and we're going to supply everything you need to clean up after your dogs. There's really no reason not to do that. We're going to give you pooper scoopers and mops.
Well, we have all that, but everybody who's a dog owner should have 3 things with them. You should have cleanup bags, paper towels, and some type of cleaner. Right. Everybody. When I went to dog shows in the days, I always carried a little kit with me. Me and my kid, I had everything I needed to clean up after my dog. I had everything I needed to groom my dog, and I had everything I needed for handling of my dog. Everybody who competes with dogs should have these things. You should have a little kit. Like I used to carry around, it's just like a fishing box, a tackle box. And I had all those things in it. So if you're a dog owner, you should always have those things. You should never come to a dog show. Number one, you should never come to a dog show with your dogs not groomed. Nails cut, dogs clean, all those things. You are putting your dog on display. You're competing with your dog. Your dog should be at its best representation. So you should never come to a dog show without first grooming your dog, without first cutting your dog's nails, and having the proper equipment for your dog. Like I said, you should have your own cleanup supplies. We supply mops and things like that, but that's just to help clean up the aftermath. They're not there for you to clean up. You're supposed to bring your own stuff.
I think that was a great public service announcement.
All right.
You just chastised the entire community.
And that's what needed to happen.
You just went off on the entire community. People are clapping and cheering. This is like when Donald Trump did a speech and people stand up. And I'm the person on the back end just looking like
ABKC great again?
Yeah. But definitely pick up after your dogs, man. We've had some great moments here. We also hope that we can honor some dogs that are going to be coming out. That's one of the things I want to be able to do is honor some of our things. If you have a previous national winner and that dog is alive, we invite you out to the show. We want you to bring those dogs out. I would love to do something at the beginning to recognize previous national winners that aren't showing anymore, of course, if they were to win. We have some great dogs that are still alive that have won nationals that I would like to do. I just made that up right now while we're here. We're not going to give you an award. I'm just going to bring you out.
For sure, what we do at every nationals is, we have top 10 competition all year long.
That is going on. Wow.
And the top 10 competition ends the week prior to nationals. So at nationals, prior to the show, we award all of those dogs, a top 10 for every breed. So
you need to be there. You need to be there. That's a great thing.
If you are in the top 10, you're going to get highlighted. Right. If you won the top 10, you're going to get awarded your trophy. Right. So you definitely want to be there at nationals if you were a top 10 contender.
Yeah, or one.
Especially if you're the winner.
Yeah, I've won. I don't like to talk about it because I'm a very humble person. But I've won it 3 times. And when I did, they didn't give me my trophy there. They mailed it to me in a box.
Not last year. Last year
I didn't win last year.
Well, then that's the problem. See,
I didn't win last year.
Yeah, you were outdated. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I didn't win. When I won, it didn't matter. No one said anything. I just had to make my own.
It's a new world, man. It's a new world. The trophies are there at nationals now.
But
that's the way we do it now.
The trophies will be there, so it's going to be exciting.
Yes.
I think everybody's ready to announce it.
Yeah. Well, let's before we announce it, let's just let them know the other things we're going to talk about after the announcement, so we don't lose people who are interested in the.
Or people that just want to know where it's at. We're going to talk a little bit about the ABKC and genetic testing.
Yeah, today we have Rogue Science with us. So we're
cameraman.
Uh-oh, cameraman. Slacking over there.
They were still talking about them. Keep the camera on.
We have an announcement between us from Rogue Science and ABKC what we're going to be doing for the American Bully breed this year. And so please stay tuned. Don't sign off right away after we announce where it's going to be, because we'll give a discussion on some of the projects that we're working on.
Everybody's going to want to get involved. I'm telling you right now, it's going to benefit the entire community.
If you own the American Bully breed, this is something you want to be involved in, and it's something that we as ABKC and Rogue Science are doing for this breed. So it's time to do what we're going to announce, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So I just want to make sure that they know we're going to speak about that after, and any other topics that you might have had.
Sean Main is ready.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of people have never tuned him on. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the reason that we're doing this too is so that you can book your hotels early. It's in a major city. It's a major tourist area. They sell out quickly. You may have heard of things like the Super Bowl, NASCAR races, golf, NBA playoffs, college basketball, soccer tournaments,
Food.
All these things have happened in the
Most
city.
importantly, you are not going to be at a shortage of places to eat.
Listen,
This
if
is-
you say food and Dave Wilson, anyone that's known you knows that this place has to be in the city that Dave goes
I
to.
need to eat.
New Orleans
I
had
like
one.
to eat when I go somewhere. I like to
Atlanta
eat.
had one. Did Chicago have one?
It is Chicago. No, you did. You Portillo's. You ate at Portillo's.
You know, I didn't like the Chicago food. Chicago food was a little
Oh,
well.
well, not this conversation.
Nah,
Eat back
you ain't
later.
go nowhere.
Jersey food was the worst.
You ain't go nowhere. Then.
Yeah, no one took me out, man. When you're the MC, you just show up
So
and
before
White Castle.
before we announce, we did search a lot of different locations, and there were a few top contenders this year of where
Charlotte?
we were going to do. No, there was a few top contenders of places where we were going to go. And one thing we had to take into consideration was Nationals has actually started to turn a very high turn of international dogs as well as
Yes.
United States. So we needed to find places that were easy to travel internationally. So a major airport was a major factor in this. Food-
Definitely.
Food was a major factor in this.
So when people were mad about why didn't we go to Jackson, Mississippi, it's because your airport has 4 planes and everyone arrives by carriage. So no, if you didn't have a major airport, we couldn't go there. By major, we want to see international in front of the name. International means from other countries. Okay, so some of those places were eliminated. I like Charlotte. I wanted Charlotte really bad.
I wanted Nashville.
You wanted Nashville?
Yeah.
Nashville was closed. Nashville was closed. They did the draft. The NFL draft is next week.
Is it in Nashville?
So by everybody saying what they wanted, basically y'all are giving away or taking things off the plate now. Say, yeah,
I
y'all
mean,
speaking up
we
little
have a
too
very
soon
listen.
on
We
what
have
you wanted
a
here, you know?
big country.
Yeah.
For them to go through, we named 2 places: Charlotte and Nashville.
Okay, so now y'all know it's not Charlotte and it's not Nashville.
This one says they have 2 airports in Houston. We don't need to have 2 airports. New York has 2 airports.
Yeah, I didn't think we were looking for. Yeah,
Atlanta
we
has
just
2
needed
airports.
one with the international.
Just
That's
one
all.
that mattered. Yeah. No, Dallas has 2 airports.
Yes, it does.
We got some people walking in the back of my studio.
Man.
Kick them out! No, I'm sure. That was just gonna happen if they didn't clean up after their dog. All right. So
You gonna
I'm gonna name the 3 places that we are down.
So you giving away $5 or a registration or what are you giving
I'm
away?
giving
Did you get
away
this clear now?
one $5
how you gonna
prize.
pick the winner?
This is on.
Yeah, because
Someone already guessed
now
it?
you've got all these people that have
already
guessed already. You kind of
How
didn't
you
think this
gonna
one
pick
out
the
yet.
No, he's
Yeah.
missed a guess because people have guessed it already.
Wisconsin International Local Airport. That's true.
Hey, they got cheese there.
We can't. You guys gotta also remember this is in November, people. What are you doing?
Gotta flip it back.
I'm here.
What is going on with the
You can do it from that way. I mean,
Flip it
just
around. I need to look at my
How do you flip it around?
There's that little button. You
That
know
little
what?
that thing that's
Help them out. Hit the button. This is
Hit
an
the- hit the
iPhone
camera back right.
XS,
Y'all gotta get
man.
yourself on there.
The camera is facing me.
No, flip it where
Flip
I can
it,
see
yeah, because
myself.
you
I
turned
need
the
to
whole
talk
thing
to
around
myself.
now.
Like,
Yeah,
flip it.
yeah.
No, like flip.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Flip the view.
We're losing viewers.
Oh,
There's like a little button.
Yeah, I got it.
Now flip the camera around where I can see
This is
it.
what happens when you do live.
He needs to see. Yeah, you. All right.
Forgive me.
All right.
Don't forgive me. Forgive my people.
Live troubles. All right.
This is what happens when you're like David. You don't pay anyone. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that loud? Go to your dad.
Hey, I pay you.
You do pay me well. I get paid well. Look at this. I'm getting chewed out on live right now. All right.
Wait.
Cameraman.
All right,
Am I
come
getting the whole
on.
poster?
Akeem, you ready? We're gonna go up here.
Am I like
Make sure, yeah, we got it.
Sign it over. Sign it over. They're saying the sign is falling. A little bit more this
All
way.
right, all right.
Let me control it.
All
And
right, get rid of this thing.
here's the announcement. There you go.
Try to get closer so they can see it. I don't know if they can see it. People see it? You should
Can you
bring
see
it
it?
out.
Oh,
It's
it's got clear on
backwards.
it.
Backwards.
Pick up the camera.
Wait, hold on.
They can see it.
Mine's not back.
Listen.
No, you can't flip it that way. Just leave it.
If you guys can't see what it
Just
says,
read
it says,
backwards.
Houston, we have a problem. Houston is the place that we're having national day. Everybody was wondering why Houston. I'm excited about Houston.
Didn't we just talk about why?
We did.
The food, right? That's what we did.
The food is amazing.
The airport.
2 airports in the Houston. Papa Do's, of course, is right connected to our building.
Papa Do's is literally in the venue, literally out the front door. You don't even have to walk outside to get a Papa Do's.
That's it, man. You guys
And
have
it's a
done it
hotel
right.
connected.
And
And
there's
the
a
hotel.
Hilton connected to it, and a Papacitos in the Hilton.
But let me tell you guys, if you guys don't want to stay at the Hilton or
No, we will have a list of all the dog-friendly hotels. We'll put
Yeah.
that out on the Nationals page. Hakim's already done some research on some of the
are there
hotels
some
that we have.
Quintas and things like that?
there's all kinds.
Yeah, so that's a lot of hotels. Yeah.
Some Motel 6. There's some you can get and pay by the hour. That's good. That's very low.
Check those out.
Check those
About that one.
I know about some of those. If you don't want to clean up after yourself, you can go there. They have people that
People
do
are
it.
coming from Bulgaria.
Bulgaria? Where's that at? Eastern Europe?
It's near Czechoslovakia, around there.
Really?
Yeah.
Bulgaria?
Bulgaria. Eastern
We had
Europe.
some people from Russia last year.
Yes, we did. We had
Well, yeah.
people on all. We're going to get a pretty nice
Russia,
international turnout.
Australia,
Yeah.
Australia.
Who's coming?
The Scots.
Like the Scottish people?
And,
Oh. Is that what we call them? The
that's
Scots?
what I call them.
Yeah, I don't know if that's politically correct. The Scots. The
I
Scots?
think that is. We have to ask somebody from Scotland.
I don't know if you can say that, man. I mean, you
But
couldn't-
Houston,
couldn't be like-
Houston, it is. So
Yeah, stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've never been to Houston, this is a beautiful city. It's definitely a food-friendly city. Like you can't go a block without finding something good to eat.
No.
This is
You have Galveston Beach.
Galveston Beach?
yeah, Galveston's only about
A few hours away.
yeah.
We're gonna have some of the best
That's about
photographers in the game
20 minutes
there.
away.
People from they're like people from Scottish, or they called the Scots. I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't be like the Vietnamese are coming.
Well, I do call them
The
Scots.
British are coming. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's just
Yeah, but that's when you can say that.
I don't know. The
You
last
can't
time
really
we,
say that.
last time we said that there was a big problem with them. So
What, the Vietnamese?
no, the British. That was
British?
called, yeah,
Yeah,
revolutionary.
I don't know if you want to do those things.
It would be that kind of
See,
organization.
Charmaine says I'm right. It says the Scots.
All right, see, we have an authentic Scottish person saying that that's correct.
Amanda wears a kilt.
He doesn't wear a kilt.
What?
Does he?
They all wear kilts.
Just a little.
I love it.
No.
Paul Burner is the first one I seen do it.
So this year at Nationals, we're going to do a couple different things. We're actually going to try to do some sections. A section for people from the area, so you can
Ooh.
come in and have an actual we don't know if it's Texas or Houston, but a Texas section just for
For
people
Texas.
from Texas.
So we're
they
gonna
can
have
display-
an Atlanta section.
No.
Yeah,
just-
you know,
just
this
'cause
is
it's-
still we're in
'cause it's
Texas. We're giving Texas
Just
its
to give
own
Texas
section.
love.
Yeah,
Give
yeah,
Texas-
yes, man.
Give the Texas
Yes.
breeders some love.
Man, my Atlanta people, we will buy out the building.
All right, well then you get an Atlanta section. Yeah.
We will have an Atlanta section. This
But
is
we're
this
also
is what
gonna-
everybody bring your banners. This is very important. We're going to do a lot of legwork before, not this year alone, but the ABKC always does a lot of legwork in the cities that they go to get people out. And the number one thing you should want to do is have your banners and things up so people can come out and see who you are
A
and
big
where
thing
you're
is
from.
we're starting to do a lot of more promotion to the public, and we do a lot on the local news stations now. When we're as ABKC are in the area, we do other public things, public service things, where we've doing a lot of, like we did in Chicago.
Yeah.
We did a donation, so we try to do other things while we're in the city to help the city out that we're in, and that's something that we do as an organization. But you're going to get a lot of people coming in that have never been to an event like this before, and you're on display the whole time. So I think it's time that people started to dress up their kennels again like we did in the beginning. And so when people are walking around, it's not just about just the show. They can also walk around and mingle and meet different breeders and see different kennels and things like that. So you should be dressing up your booths.
I
that's
want to
something
see the best booth. I don't know what I'm going to do for it yet, but I want to do something for best
I
booth.
think this year we will do something together for the best booth. We'll work something out so for the best decorated booth.
Yeah,
We would do
and
that
by
this year.
together, mostly Dave, I'll be announcing it on the microphone. But no, I want y'all to have, man, I come from the days of couches and sod and fences and beautiful things. If you're part of a group, if you're not part of a group, create a group for Nationals. Represent your kennel. Like Hakeem was talking about Texas doing something big for the Texas section. If you are from Atlanta, get together with Atlanta breeders. Caravan out. We want this to be a fun time.
We might even this year do something that's even breed related if we have certain breeds that want to be in a certain section. So
Yeah, Shorty Bull Row.
there you go. Yep.
We are going to have all my Shorty Bull people together in one booth and we're going to decorate. It'll be the best one ever. I might even hire Shorty, the little guy, politically correct,
right.
little guy coming out, and he's going to be there in the Shorty Bull. But he's a Shorty. Have him there. Going to win all that.
That's one booth, right? You stack them all together.
That is not politically correct, Nate Dewsbury from one. But
He was talking about the dogs, man.
I don't know what he's talking about. All I know, I got a lot of
unpolitically correct.
I got a lot of
there,
fan
man.
people here, so I don't want to cause any problems. But speaking of Origin, what is Origin doing special for Nationals, Nate?
We have a lot of things going. We're obviously a bigger, better booth happening this year. We have a lot more information along with the collaboration with ABKC and the reporting of the genetics results as well. We have a few new products that may or may not be there as well. It's gonna be good.
All right.
The one thing I talk about is the trophy.
You want to talk about the trophy?
Yeah, so this year, if you've been in nationals before, the Best in Show trophy was a huge trophy. It was.
Just let me read. You just stick to that. We'll tell you.
So it was made by Jim Guion, who passed away last year, and so we decided that would be the last year for that trophy. So we pretty much retired that trophy, and this year we're creating a bigger trophy that displays all of the breeds that are going to be represented at nationals. So as you know, it's not a trophy. We should call it a piece of furniture because it's huge. And this year we've got Matt Hicks is creating a monster piece of furniture, a trophy. But this year it will feature all of the breeds represented at nationals. So if you win Best in Show, your breed is guaranteed to be represented on that.
Do we still have that life-size one that you could ride?
The American Bully? No, that was last year. Yeah, that one came from Poland.
It came from Poland.
Yeah, that was from Poland. But we always bring in something extra. This year we'll find something extra to bring to the table.
I love that.
This trophy alone is unbelievable. So when you see it, it's a one of a kind. It's a Matt Hicks creation, and like I said, I mean it's going to be probably 3 feet high, and it represents every single breed at nationals. So no matter what breed you have, if you win, your dog, your breed will be in that trophy.
That is true. The Dogo
will be on there. Yes.
Everybody will have their dogs on there. But I gotta also say, where's it at? Everybody's asking where it is. It's at the George
R. Brown.
George R. Brown.
George R. Brown. Yeah.
George.
What's going on?
Brown. Right next to the Minute Maid, the Astro
November
Stadium. 16th. Right next to the Houston. It's right between the Houston Rockets Stadium and the Astro Stadium.
November 16th is the date. Party's gonna start November 15th. I'll be here on Friday. I'm actually trying to be here on Thursday, so anybody that wants to be out early, I'm gonna try to be here a little early to do some things. There's a lot of things to do here.
There's so many things
I'm excited about that.
But again, the George R. Brown, and it's going to be Hall E.
Hall E.
So we'll be at the very far corner, and we're going to negotiate something this week with the parking lot right there so that we can try to get it to where you can literally park your car and just walk across the street into the side door.
That would be beautiful.
But there's plenty of parking. There's parking everywhere down here. It's just some of the parking garages enter into the venue through the carpeted areas where the dogs aren't supposed to be. So we're going to try to negotiate something on the lower level to where you can just literally park and walk across the street.
So I want to reiterate real quick before we jump into some of the genetic stuff we're going to talk about is this Nationals 2019 is pre-registration only. That's very important that you guys share that information and let everybody know.
Another thing too is tents. They're only going to allow a limited amount of tents in this venue.
Okay.
There's rules. The George R. Brown, if you've never seen it, Google it, look it up. It's a beautiful venue, and like I said, it's got everything you could possibly want. Restaurants in the venue, so there's shops in the venue, everything. It's unbelievable.
So do they need to let us know?
So they're going to let us know about tents. So we need to talk. If you can now, you can take a top off a tent, but everybody knows without the top they don't look as nice. But they're only going to allow so many tents, which we'll get the number from them once we've met with the fire marshal and do all of that. So if possible, everything's going to be pipe and drape. We've already taken care of all the pipe and drape for every booth. So you'll have that. You'll have a table, your own trash can where you can put your own trash in. So that's very important. Every year we do that. But so try to find better ways of decorating it without a tent because not everybody with a tent's going to be in. And once we get the number, we'll know and we'll figure out how that's going to happen. So I would definitely recommend trying to set your booth up without using a tent or at least taking the top off of the tent.
And we're recommending, once again, that you bring your banners and all of that good stuff, man. That'll be great. You know, we definitely want y'all to do that and have people come out and do the most they can. I want to do the most. That's what I want to call this Nationals, the most. Just do the most, man, because, you know, Houston is a fantastic city. I think it's close to everybody, really.
It is. I mean, Texas is going to come out.
Now, I've had my doubts about Texas.
Now, I've been to some shows recently in Texas, and Texas definitely supports
I've
Texas.
heard
that it's big.
I've heard that Texas does it good.
They say everything's bigger in Texas. So.
But you know, the king, you know, Texas tries to claim the South won. As a spokesperson for Atlanta, no, it's a bit far. It's a bit far west.
I'm not even sure.
You know, we are the king of Atlanta, the king of the South. But we will say that Houston, I'm excited to see what we do out here. I am. Now, we were talking about genetic testing just a moment ago, and I know a lot of you guys are going to come back and watch this later on because y'all just wanted to know where it was at so you could book your plane tickets and get your hotels first. But genetic testing in the American Bully is something, after being here for a long time, that not even the American Bully, not many breeds focus on breed-specific genetic testing. You normally have a breeder that does that, a group of breeders that do that. You never really have a registry and an organization step up and say, yo, we're going to take the responsibility of genetic testing a breed to find out what is in this breed and what we need to worry about and what we don't. Why did the ABKC and Rogue Science decide to do that when no one else has ever done that? They would almost say there's no benefit to either of those entities to genetic test.
Well, let me start with that, and then I'll turn some of that back to you all. First of all, there has recently been a scare of some genetic issues within the breed, and that's something that we want to find out. We want to find out the validity of things. But with the American Bully, it's a breed that the ABKC was involved in the creation. So
Correct. We
were the original registry for it, wrote the standards for it, and so forth. So normally when you get a certain type of breed, you normally have a breed club or something that does that to look after the interest of the breed.
Correct.
And we don't have that. We really are that. The ABKC really is the foundation for the American Bully as far as all of that goes. So we decided that with this breed, it is time to look internal in the breed. It's a breed that a lot of breeders, we all know, breed from the externals. They breed according to how the dogs look. And now this breed has grown internationally. It's grown to the magnitude that it's grown. As the ABKC announced this past week, we have over 100,000 owners now in the database. Not
Owners.
dogs. Not
Owners.
dogs. Yes, dogs are into the 400,000s. So
400,000.
yes. So
Gotta write down my contract.
yeah, right. So anyway, it is time that we look into the breed and figure out what's going on internally in the breed. It doesn't mean that we're going to find things that are dire emergencies or things like that. What we're looking to do and what ABKC and Rogue Science are coming together to do is we're investing into genetic testing of the breed to find out what's going on inside this breed, what things we need to look out for, what things don't actually mean something,
and understanding.
And understanding what all of that means. So that's what we decided to do as ABKC and Rogue Science, and I'll let Nate speak a little bit more on it, but just so people understand it, it's time. It's time that we do that, and as ABKC, we feel it is our responsibility for the American Bully breeders and American Bully breed to get that information and teach people what's going on inside of their dogs. So I'll turn it to Nate and let him give you a little more on that.
Yeah, I think some things to start with is, what this isn't. This isn't a witch hunt. This isn't about finding out what breeds are in this breed. It's not even that. This is genetic health testing. So it's different than a paternity test because people hear DNA and DNA means a lot of things to a lot of different people. So yes, the health testing is done with DNA. So this is not a witch hunt. This isn't about creating smoke and pushing it in any one person's direction. It's about a snapshot of what we're actually where are we at as a breed, where the American Bully breed is right now, and where do breeders need to start looking out for or not looking out for, depending on what's actually discovered, and where do they go to progress that breed forward and moving it forward, not just on a type basis, but as a health standpoint for the breed. How does that move forward? What does that look like now, and where can it go? So that is partly what the exploratory screening is that we're looking at doing.
Right.
Go ahead. So basically, it's two phases. It's a phase one, which is based on the top dogs that have affected the gene pool of the American Bully. And basically phase one is basically testing these 10 dogs for a lot of things that probably don't even affect the American Bully. But the whole point of it is for us to find out what issues actually pop up or don't pop up with the American Bully. And phase two is when we actually go into testing 200 to 250, actually 200 dogs in the United States and 50 dogs internationally. Hopefully, we're hoping we can start by the middle of May. Hopefully that the ABKC show in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, being held by James Harbour, Ernest Johnson, and Sam Leem and Joel out there is hopefully where we start the testing. But phase one, again, is 10 dogs who are heavily bred to studs that have truly affected the gene pool. And phase two is when we're going to do the larger study based on what we find in phase one.
All right, and let me say this too. because this is something that the ABKC is doing without these people paying. They're not paying for this to be done with their dogs. This is something that they volunteered to do and been approached, I'm sure. Hey, because your dogs have had this impact in our gene pool, we want to find out what's in there. Now, people that are listening, I want to clarify why they're going to use popular dogs as opposed to just any random dog. If my dog is not being bred and is not necessarily contributing to the gene pool, or it's only have one litter, even if he has something really bad, it's going to affect it in such a minute way, it would not matter. It may affect those people that bought a dog from me, and as a responsible breeder, I should want to do more. But the dogs that are being bred a lot, we want to find out what they have, because that is going to affect.
Well, you need to start with the dogs that have the largest impact in the gene pool of the American Bully breed to get a baseline.
Right.
Correct? So we're trying to get a baseline of what might come up internally within this breed. And then you do a more complex study to really get down to the actual.
If your dogs are actually carrying it. And let me say this, because a lot of people that hear genetic testing, and you know, one thing I like to do with the Moody Mentor and the Bully Booth is try to address the things that I know the naysayers are going to say. So the number one thing I know, well, you need to go back and test Cairo.
We have some old dogs we're going to be testing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But some of the dogs that you want to test, we cannot do that.
Some of the dogs, their footprint is in the DNA.
Of course.
So we're not looking to isolate this dog, that dog.
Right.
We're looking at the primary dogs, not dogs, but lines within the breed to determine what things are within the breed. It's not to put a blame at a dog or to pick out a certain dog. We're looking out for the benefit of the breed and trying to figure out what is going on inside this breed.
And this is phase one. So when you look at it from a standpoint of we are not trying to eliminate any one dog or one line. That's not the point.
It's all anonymous. Yeah. This is all anonymous. Nobody's going to know. Only the owners of the dogs are going to know. And it's up to them if they want to make it public.
Want to share that.
At the end of the day, people have to understand this. ABKC is doing this to give us, I breed. ABKC is doing this to give myself a guide. So
well,
when
it's, you got to, like, we're going to identify. It's still going to be up to you to test your dog afterwards, but we are going to be able to tell you these are the things within the breed. These are the things that you need to look for. These are the things that maybe aren't even significant, so it's nothing to worry about.
It's up to you if you want to take the next
us,
level.
ABKC and Rogue Science, like we said, people do not have to pay for this.
Correct.
Because we want to do this study so that we can give that information out there so that the breed can get better, and so people know how to breed these dogs in a better direction, and they know how to isolate issues and genetic issues, or to avoid them
better.
And understand it. Understanding is huge.
Yeah,
this is a good question.
I have learned, talking to Nate, I think a lot of people are miseducated on genetic testing and how it affects our dogs. And through this project and talking to individuals like Nate that are knowledgeable on this, what I've learned is, people make it seem like it's a doomsday type of thing. It's not. It's not at all. Once you learn about it.
Well, somebody said what good it does anonymously, because at this point we're just determining what the issue.
We don't know what. Yeah,
it doesn't matter what dog it is. It matters what's in this breed.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. We don't need to point a finger at a dog, because once we've isolated the disorders within the breed, at that point it's going to give you a guideline. So when you test your dogs, then you know what to look out for and what's in your dog. And then at that stage is the stages that you should be looking for the same testing from other dogs that you're thinking about using.
Right.
But maybe you can go a little more in on that.
Yeah, the whole point of not why it's anonymous for a lot of reasons, but also where you're going to find things. We're looking at over 240 genetic markers, and we've learned already from a recent issue dealing with rod and cone dystrophy is that you can pop positive for a test that if it's not created for that breed specifically, it can be identified in other breeds if the test is too vague or it's too general in its detection limit. So it may be looking for something small. Well, that can be so commonplace in other breeds that it can actually create a false positive, and that breed's not even affected by them. We've already seen this. And so part of it is making sure what's there, because then we can actually interrogate it to actually say, is that real or is that not real? Because that's very important. And of course, being anonymous about this is to actually understand this. And this is what other breeds and other organizations do in the club looking out for that dog, is they create a very specific test for that if it really is an issue. So that's part of what we're doing.
It's going, why, again, it's anonymous because we're not isolating, we're not singling out anything. We're trying to find out what things are breed specific. Correct. And what things really affect our breed. So we can come up with a breed specific testing that is actually accurate for this breed. So it's not only to tell you what is in this breed and things that you can learn from, but it's also to create a new testing system that's specifically for this
the
breed.
American Bully.
Exactly.
And let me touch on this, because a lot of you guys are listening to this, and I know where the confusion is coming. If you're familiar with health testing like hip dysplasia or heart, for example, those are specific tests. What this is a genetic test. It's testing, like Nate said, over 250 markers. This is not something a dog is going in and we're like, does this dog have hip dysplasia? It's different. So when you see anonymous, it's because we're trying to basically create a database of things, of issues that they're going to face. So that's what I'm getting it from as a layman. Like, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor. That's what I get. Now, it is going to be created so that in the future, you can go in and say, does my dog, Black Beauty, have this disease? Yes, Black Beauty has that, and at that point, there's a database that marks it down. I want you guys to understand something, because a lot of you guys probably don't do a lot of health testing. Almost all health testing is anonymous. It's a doctor-patient privilege. You know, like, you don't go in and say, I want to know if my dog has rabies, and then your vet writes it down and sends it out to the newspaper. That's not the way it works. It's you decide, do you want to let your test results be viewed by the public? That's the way it is with the OFA and everything. You can say, I don't want anybody to know my results. You got it.
Plus, we're not looking for that dog that we're using. We're looking for the breed.
Correct.
So we're using an anonymous.
So when people are complaining about being anonymous, I think they're thinking of it along
no. We're not trying to say whatever dog has this problem.
No,
we're
it's
trying
for the whole breed.
The whole breed.
It's a study that's going to be available through ABKC, where I, as a breeder, can go check. You know what pops up.
You know what to look for
now. Exactly. You know what to look for as a buyer or a breeder. So when you put two dogs together, you know what to look for, how to match the dogs better. Or if you're a buyer, now when you go to a breeder, you know what to ask for.
To make it basic, it's like this.
Easier.
When you go fill out a thing at the doctor, the number one thing they ask is, has anyone in your family had heart disease? That don't mean I have heart disease. They ask. On mine, I have to mark my dad. At that point, they look for that because I have the genetic markers that may be present.
Exactly.
In it. So they're just going to eliminate that or find out if I have it.
That's a great point Willie just made. Now, people need to understand it about genetics. Just because your dad was a carrier doesn't mean you're going to have it.
Correct.
And by doing this study, it makes it easier to make, I don't want to use you as a dog, but to make more bullies.
If you knew it's going to be a bully-ass dog.
To make more dogs that are not like their father who's a carrier, this study will make it easier for you as a breeder to do that. And that's all it is. It's just information. ABKC is giving you more information to make the breed better.
So I guess is to understand another layer to that is actually what comes of this, right? So from genetic health testing, you actually can determine, is the dog free and clear, as in they're not carrying any copies for a genetic disease? Are they a carrier? Do they have one copy? Or are they homozygous for it and they're carrying 2 copies? That is for the individual dog, and that they're actually owners are testing for, whether it's stud, bitch, or the puppies. What also becomes of this as more testing is done on the breed and more dogs are tested for these things that maybe have been identified to affect the American Bully, we start establishing the prevalence rate. So that is a predictive value of we're just gonna pick something. So maybe, we're gonna make some random heart disease that maybe the American Bullies have, right? But with enough testing, with more numbers, which is why we're picking 200, is we need statistical relevance for that we can start determining what is the estimated prevalence of this heart disease being prevalent in the American Bully. It may be 20%, 30%, but as more testing comes, that number gets dialed in, so you can actually start putting the predictive values that this is something that can be monitored over the long term, and that value could start going down as breeders start making different decisions about the genetic testing. If they implement it into their program, you can actually, as a breed, as an organization, you can start bringing that prevalence number down lower and lower.
The more you identify it, the more we can shrink whatever issues it is.
Yeah, and I want people to understand too, like, the nature of breeding in the American Bully will always be to have amazing looking animals.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be breeders that don't care. You know what I'm saying? But if the information is there for you and it's readily accessible for you to know, hey, this is what I could be facing, this is what I want to do.
And we talked about this too. It's about the knowledge gap, right? It's
Right.
about knowledge, empowering owners and breeders with more information so they can become better decision makers.
Correct.
And when you fill in that knowledge gap, you can start making those decisions. And then part of it too, you touched on, is that you're not going to lose the type. These aren't death sentences
Right.
when you get results. If you're a carrier, even if you're a homozygous and you're carrying 2 copies, this isn't a death sentence. It's about having that information to make better decisions.
Yeah, because I'm not
That's
going to
it.
breed.
I want to touch on this because of the question. And
Yeah.
you know,
You
the
can
answer
see that far?
Yeah, I can. No, I had to looking at it like
Focus
focus and refocus.
what is the question?
Hey,
It's
well, that's good for
amazing.
me because I've been told I need glasses by everybody.
I
but,
can't
you
see
know,
it.
so there was a big situation recently in Australia, and we'll touch on this very briefly
That's
because
the question.
there's a lot of countries that have already been heavily into it. Normally, it's coming from people that have been in other breeds in the past, and they know that this type of testing is done in other breeds, so they decided to do it with this breed.
Yeah.
Australia is a country that's very heavy with that, and actually Russia is as well. And there was a situation that popped up recently that he'll be able to go a little bit more in depth in. And what we started to realize is it starts to scare sometimes. So, and people start running around and everybody wants to get rid of their dog or black labeling this person or doing all these different things without really understanding what it means. And the problem is that we've found is that a lot of these tests may not necessarily pertain to this breed.
Correct.
Even if the marker shows up in this breed, it might not be something that is truly in this breed or will affect this breed. So once those type of scares happen, there was no information out there. There's no way to cross-reference it. There's no way to know. Nate has some information on that, which he'll speak on, but that's another point of what we're doing. We want to make sure that these tests and what we come up with in the end, the results, are breed-specific. So
Correct.
people know these really affect this particular breed. So we're doing this to give clarity and to help breeders out, and it's time. So again, you know, us together, this is ABKC Rogue Science, we're investing in this so that you all, the breeders, have an understanding. But to touch on the Australia thing, I just want him to explain a little bit of that to calm that scare there and let people realize, just wait a minute, just hold on a minute, we're looking into a lot of this, and some of this Nate has already looked into, and this is the reason why we're doing this.
Yeah, so a huge partner in this collaboration with the ABKC, with Rogue Pet Science, is with Paul Prince Genetics. I've spoken with their CEO and their technical staff, and it's an amazing group out there. And the way they actually go at these genetic health testing problems, they use 2 different forms of confirmation. They don't just use one platform to say, oh, we're going to test for all these diseases and like yes and no's and we're going to trust that. They actually use a secondary technology to come at it to confirm those yeses and confirm those no's. So that's very important. And to specifically touch on the issue with Australia is that there was a simple kind of misunderstanding with part of it because one test was using an outdated naming system that wasn't current, and it caused some confusion. It was just a 1-letter difference. So what Australia was dealing with was Accord 1 versus CRD1, which some in the field call it Cord 2. You know, as in Cord and CRD is the same naming. And that's what it was that there was an outdated name being used for a cone and rod dystrophy test marker, and it was also spelled out CORD1, where you actually use it in current naming systems. It's actually CRD4, not CRD1, which CRD1 is an issue in the American Staffordshire Terrier and the American Pit Bull Terrier, and it makes sense that it was also associated with the American Bully. Cord 1 in the old, aka CRD4, which is the correct name. CRD4 is not associated with any American Staffordshire Terriers, so no Amstaffs, no American Pit Bull Terriers, no American Bullies or Shorty Bulls or Frenchies or Bostons. It is actually a breed-specific test for long-haired Dachshunds and some of those Terrier-type breeds. So that was causing some confusion in that, and because American Bullies were popping positive for CRD4, and it was not even affecting the American Bully breed. So it was a non-specific test for that breed that was coming up positive. And things like this happen, which is why you need a breed-specific test, is because you can test for DCM in Dobermans, and you can test for DCM and using the same test in the Yorkies, and the Yorkies will be positive for DCM, and they're not a breed associated with DCM. So it's the whole point of having a test that's designed for that breed if it's of relevance to them. And of course, there's some minor differences. This is a dog and this is a dog, but their genetic makeup changes the way those sequences are actually put together when they actually form a species. And you can have some overlap, or you can have different peaks in different spots, which calling it. So you can have some overlap, and if that overlap is too big and the test is on that overlap, you're going to get positives for both breeds when it really needs to be shifted over for this breed or moved over for this breed.
And I'm familiar with that with shorty bulls. When people want
real quick, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm going to cut you off.
I can see that.
For people in Australia so basically, again, Cord 1 is what they were calling it, where in modern day it's CRD4.
Yeah.
So in Australia, or people who are still currently testing for cone rod, right, or cone and rod,
Yep.
what should they be testing at this moment? Just so that we can clarify that, even though in our study, we will get that information out there, whether or not it's really an issue, not an issue, and something you need to test for. But the proper testing for dogs of a similar breed to the American Bully would be called what? CRD1.
CRD1.
So CRD1 is the important marker, correct?
Yeah.
To be testing for that particular scenario.
Yeah, there's actually CRD1, there's CRD2, and CRD3, and then CRD4.
So which would be considered? Is there a worse, or 4 would be the worst? Or
We're just trying to give a little clarity on that for the people that aren't still unsure of their results, because that's the way they were testing.
Yeah, the Paw Prints Genetics site is going to be the best source for that, and it's going to show you which ones are relevant for that breed. So they actually have a thing where you put your breed in, and it'll tell you the tests they have that are specific for that breed. And CRD1 is on there for that breed because of the Amstaffs and the American Pit Bull Terrier, and they actually did test a lot of American Bullies when they were verifying this. So they have done specific American Bullies. So they actually have an American Bully panel of certain tests for them as well.
So, but it's CRD1, not Cord 1.
Yeah, no, not that's an old name back from a different mutation.
Just
on a
to give
different
some
gene.
clarity
There's
on
different
that,
genes.
because of that. Sometimes something happens and then it turns a scare. And I told you before about my generation with the Amstaff and ataxia and things
Yep.
like that. So you got to be careful that we don't cause a scare in something that isn't really relevant. So this is the point of what we're doing. In all honesty, I would say hold on.
The research would tell you was going to give us the true answer. Like Nate said, at the end of the day, you need the body. The bodies would tell you what's true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let me, we missed a lot of you guys' questions. I'm going to answer some of them and run through so you guys can understand. I know you guys were asking a lot. First and foremost, are the rooms blocked out for the hotel? There's going to be a list for that on the site. As far as are we testing by varieties, as of this point, they are not. It's just an overall American Bully genetic test, so there's not going to be that.
Chris, let them know for the phase 2. If anybody wants their dogs to be part of it and can't make it to these shows, contact myself or Nate, and we can get your dogs in there.
If they want to be part of the study.
So you guys, if you want to be a part of the study, that's how you'll do that. So I want to make sure I test you. Some of the stuff I missed, so I apologize, and I can't come down and redo it for you. But it's not being done by type or size or anything like that. No, we're not going to rewind it. It's okay. So we're not going to do that. Dang, I forgot what the other thing. The hotel rooms are blocked off. Someone else had asked me a very important question about the dogs. Oh, Matthew Kwan, I think he said, if his dog has a problem, it doesn't mean he's going to stop breeding it. What it means for him is he's going to know whether he needs to get rid of that dog or start over. So that's what it is. It's a whole lot of science right now that is very important. And someone asked, is it for oldies? Right now,
you'll find out. Some things are more drastic than others. And some things you find out that you're going to say, oh, we don't want to breed this. And other things you're going to realize that we need to breed away from this. So there's different points in this. And this is the purpose of the study.
Yeah, and I want people to understand. A lot of you guys are looking at some of it's over your head. Some of you guys aren't going to understand. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the way I feel about it is this. Owning shorty bulls, the number one thing they do when I go if I want to get tested for hip dysplasia, if I want to get tested for hearts, they compare my dogs all the time to Frenchies. Well, my dog is not a Frenchie. No. So comparing him to Frenchies, there's other dogs in my dog's genetic makeup that are going to change that. You also can't just test my dog and say, oh, English Bulldogs have this, so your dog has all these problems.
And there's a thing, that's not the problem.
There's nothing that is specific to shorty bulls, and that's why some of those tests don't work accurately for my breed. That's all that Nate is saying for you guys to come to. I'm basically you guys' friend. When you get lost in science, turn to me.
No, absolutely. No, Chris has got a great level head about it. And to your point, Chris, is that yes, you can't count 100% on an English Bulldog test or a Frenchie test. But if the Shorty Bull coalition got together and said, hey, we're trying to figure, you go to like Paul Prince, you approach him, it's like, hey, we want to develop a special test because the Shorty Bulls have this. And the tests for the French Bulldog and the English Bulldog don't line up. They're not, we can't tell any information from that. So they'll actually do a specific study to say, okay, well, it just needed to be a little longer or it needed to be in a different spot, but it was generally the gene was there. We know this gene because they would actually go back to the French Bulldog, the work done in the literature for French Bulldog. They would go back into the literature for the English Bulldog, see where those are at, which genes are involved, and they would cater it to that to identify it. And then they would actually have a breed-specific test for Shorty Bulls. So they would use the foundation dogs as a starting point, where to look, because there's a lot of dog out there.
And that's what's remarkable about the ABKC stepping up to do this. Because like you said, most breeds, that is not going to happen by the registry. It normally will happen with a group of breeders, but a registry putting up the money and doing that's something that I think is commendable. And the breeders out there, I want to commend you guys who have stepped forward and have brought your dogs in for these markets.
And just so you know, once it's done and that particular test type is available after we've done the study and everything's done, it's also going to be something that you will be able to check on your pedigree. As of now, you can get your dog tested for hip dysplasia. There's so many things, and that gets printed onto your pedigree, so you can actually look at someone's pedigree and see that they have all of these certifications.
Can we get? I know we can get the health things. Can we get CGC?
You already have it. It's already there. Yep, CGC's there, all of those things. It's already there. People just don't tend to, in our world, people haven't been asking for those things, so they don't realize that we're already set up that way. As ABKC, we already have it. There are people that have those on the certificates on their pedigree, so. But what we are doing.
Close up of the banner.
The what?
Of the banner.
We'll get it.
We'll get that right before it ends, because we have a few people I would like to thank that supported it.
Yeah, we'll come close up. We got you on the banner. We're almost done. You don't have to listen to us much longer.
So, now we're excited about that, but let me ask you guys real quick. We know we have the national winners. For you guys that don't know who are new, I want to make sure you guys know this. What is the benefit of coming to nationals? One, your dog is going to be seen by the most people in our breed all year long. Two, you have an opportunity to win something that is timeless. If you were to win your class or your best of winners or champion or grand champion, that stays on your pedigree forever. And it's an opportunity for you guys who are breeders to see more dogs than ever before. There's nothing better than to come to a show where you can see dogs that you potentially want to breed too. That is the point of dog shows, people. Okay? It's not to go on Facebook and say, wow, that dog gets 1,000 likes, I'm breeding to him. I'm breeding to this breeder because he has 1 million viewers. It's about going to a dog show, seeing a dog that best matches your dog. You know what I'm saying? So I love going to dog shows. I hope you guys know that. If you want to see a stud that you can use, the best place to go is nationals. And it's not always going to be the dog that wins in the ring. Sometimes you're going to walk around and you're going to see a dog.
It's just nationals is where the best of the best come to compete. Also, the best of the best come to represent. I mean, it's the one show that we as ABKC host for you all. So it's your show, and it's where the best from around the world are coming.
And I'll be the first to say, this is the one show that I've always said needs no promotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing all this for you guys. Because nationals, ABKC nationals has for a long time been record breaking. I mean, every year that I've been involved, it's grown, and every year there's a new story to be told, and everyone always asks, where they were.
And I want to give some clarity on a couple of things. ABKC nationals is for you all, but it's for ABKC registered dogs. This is an event for the dogs that are registered with our registry, and that's the purpose. It doesn't mean that you have to have a dog that's shown, that's titled, but it's for ABKC registered dogs, and that is the point of the event. On another note, this is the first year that every dog entered has a custom breed trophy. So if you have a French Bulldog and you win Best of Breed Frenchie, it's a custom French Bulldog trophy, all the way down to all the breeds that we accept.
Wow. But I've always thought we've always done that, right?
Well, no. Every year we've added some new breeds, and you had some multi-head breeds we didn't have. This year you actually have every trophy for your breed. Yes.
Setup, as usual, is going to be on Friday, so you guys can definitely come out and check that out. That's going to be good. Everyone's like, they're already ready to go do the show. They're ready to go.
I'm ready. I'm here now. We're in Houston right now. We're ready.
I am in Houston.
We're here right now.
I am in Houston. If you're in Houston and you want to hang out with Bully the Kid, you can do that. Dave Wilson, I would say Dave's going to do it, but it has to be before 8 p.m.
I know.
I'm used to. I might make it till 9. So we're good.
You might make it
I
9.
might make it till 9.
If you want to hang out, y'all welcome to come hang out with us, man. It's a
But I'll be
special
up by
person
6. You know how we get. I get older than just shit.
that-
You
you
know what
got a
I'm saying?
flight?
So
That's
yeah, no, I'll just be up at 6. So you know, if you can't make it by 9, you can hang up me at 6.
Oh.
I might still be in the bathroom. Never mind. Let's just go on.
You let all the secrets out.
You know what, man? So we appreciate you guys. If anybody has anybody they think is gonna win, you know, Bully Kid always does that. Whoever thinks they know the winner or has a favorite, you're welcome to say that to me. I always do that.
A shout out to Ivan Bishop in UK.
Okay, we got a shout out.
Yeah, he's good. Ivan just has health issues, but he's doing good. Take care of yourself, Ivan. Get some rest.
Yep.
Ivan was one of the supporters behind the banner behind us.
Oh yeah, please by all means say that.
Angelo Serta at Bully Code Camp was one of the supporters of the banner. Bully the Kid was one of the supporters creating the banner. Ivan Bishop, the Bishop Bullies in UK, Animalville, and Rogue Pet Science. So, I want to thank you guys for supporting it with the banner, and take care of yourself, Ivan.
Look at Akeem was always so professional, just like that was very nice. I'll never give thanks.
But
to him.
I do also want to thank Rogue Science for stepping up. They brought the banner today. They're involved 50% with this study that we're doing for the American Bully breed. So they've done a lot and they've stepped up a lot for the breed to help us and ABKC and you all. So I do want to thank you.
I appreciate y'all throwing yourselves all the way in. This is a great question, and I got to answer this because this is very important. And I know I said it, and I know it's going to cause confusion. This is an ABKC registered event. We do want that. But I got to say this as well. If you have an English Bulldog, French Bulldog, there's other breeds that we have a lot of people that National sometimes is their first show.
They need to register. It's pre-registration only. So you're already going to have registered your dog with ABKC and then pre-register for the event.
So
Texas is a
simple thing to do.
big English Bulldog and Frenchie state.
So
get
they
the
won't
word
be
out
that.
to the community.
Go register.
Register with
So
ABKC.
Register now, they don't have to wait later.
It's real quick. Get them registered so they can come out and do that.
Correct.
So I want to make sure you guys know that.
You got to understand,
My
people
English
understand, you
Frenchie.
cannot enter a competition without a registration number. That's how we record the results. So you have to register.
Yeah, so there are no temp numbers available at Nationals for those other breeds, and that includes for my Shorty Bull people as well. So if you're trying to show at Nationals, you need to get registered right away. If you have any questions about that and I can help you out at all, send me a message and I'll point you in the right direction to get with ABKC to make sure your dogs are registered. And that's it. So number one thing, let's be registered.
Closing on the band.
Yeah.
Okay, with the final word. Any
Our
last questions? Anything?
Normally,
you got?
cameramen do not control the show, but here, unfortunately, my cameraman said zoom in on the banner, and that's it.
I mean, if we want questions, we can do questions.
No, we don't. We just zoom in on the banner, sir.
No, we got anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
We're good. We can
All right,
zoom
we'll
in
see
on
y'all.
that.
Wait now. We have to. We'll see you all November 16th.
Happy birthday to my little brother.
George R. Brown Convention Center, Houston. Pre-registration. We'll have everything up on the ABKC Nationals Facebook page.
And we got a lot more things coming to you guys throughout the year, so y'all pay attention to that. New ideas, new things we're going to be putting out there, so you guys check that out. Best booth, we said we're going to do something
We
about
will
that.
do best booth this year.
If
yes.
you have a national winner from years previous, a best of breed winner, please bring them. I would love to see those dogs out. I have a little bit of time.
If we have Nationals winners that are going to attend the event
And
and they
competing.
let us know in advance, we will do a special presentation for past Nationals winners.
Oh, that's nice.
As always, we'll do the veteran. We always
Always do veterans.
Veterans are free, or actually any active military ID free.
free. Yes, we do not charge for children and we do not charge for active military or retired military.
Children under 12 that are still in school. If you dropped out, gotta pay.
You gotta pay.
I'm just saying, I'm not supporting no dropout. Under 12.
But now, children, military,
You dropped out at 18. you
always
dropped.
free at Nationals, and we will always honor a veteran with a special award that we have every year.
Yes.
So-
Callie Abrams won last year. Shout out to Callie. She won.
And that's also, we also at that, we award the junior handler, the #1 junior handler of the year also gets awarded at Nationals.
Callie's
As a
from
special
Texas, though, when
presentation.
she won the veteran thing last year, and she's from Texas.
I want to see those top dogs from Europe come out. That's what I want to see.
Are there top dogs in Europe?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, there's some really nice dogs in here.
Bully the Kid is a
South
non-believer.
America.
Show me. Bring me
South
some.
America
Your
too, Mexico.
South America and Mexico?
Yeah.
They got some nice dogs.
I want y'all to bring them out and show them to Bully the Kid.
Bring them out, bring them out.
We'll bring
All
them
right.
out. That's it.
Thank
We're
you all
good.
for watching. Thank
Check
you
out
all
the
for
banner.
supporting. We'll see you November 16th. Cameraman, y'all take it, get a close up of the banner. Thanks, Rogue Science.
Please don't drop my
Yeah,
phone. That's an
I'll go
iPhone
ahead. Pick it
XS
up.
Max. Make sure you zoom in on mine.
You want it?
No, yeah. Make sure you zoom in on mine. Look,
I see
that's
you
what people
get
want to
to.
see. Yeah.
I'll let the pro cameraman do this.
All right, y'all. I'm out. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all want food where you don't have to hide in the break room again. The food at this venue, I promise you, the food is absolutely bananas. You will
Well,
not.
the thing about the food,
You won't complain.
while we're zooming in, you're asking about the food, we will have vendors there. None of these places let you bring in outside food. It's just part of the contract. There's nothing we can do about it. However, there'll be vendors in, and if you walk outside, you got Papa Do's, you got Starbucks, there's all kinds of other food places to eat outside the venue. One thing I would recommend to everybody, bring somebody else to watch your dogs, because once you drop your dogs, you're gonna wanna go park your car, and sometimes you're gonna wanna walk out of the venue, get something to eat. So always have a backup person there that watches your dogs while you're doing
Yeah.
those things.
And I'm going to have some handler announcements, although we don't ever have that problem at Nationals. All right, Bully the Kid is signing off. Appreciate you guys.